This is chapter number 4, Electoral Politics. We will talk about electoral politics, that is Chunavi Rajniti. So what we have seen about democracy is the most common form of democracy in our present times is people, they are choosing the government, or you can say representatives. What are elections? Because the way of choosing or electing the representative is called elections. So what are these elections? Why these are necessary? Why these are necessary? Why they are useful? Then in this election there is a competition among the parties. So what are the usefulness, or what these competition help the different people and the parties? Then how we are going to assess the elections in India. In India we'll specifically talk about. Then we have the other thing which we are going to see is whether these elections are free and fair. Then we will talk about the ECI, that is Election Commission of India, how ECI helps in free and fair election organization of the country, how they organize them. So first of all, let me start with an example. So the question this example is going to solve or answer is why elections. So we are taking an example of assembly election in Haryana. So Haryana, let me tell you first what is an assembly election. So assembly election, that is for the Vidhan Sabha. Assembly election is done for Vidhan Sabha, and this Vidhan Sabha is for a state. We'll talk about the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, and the election is for the country, that is the Kendra Sarkar, or the central government is formed by RS and LS, and Vidhan Sabha for state government. We have around 28 states now. So the story starts here is the actual thing which happened in Haryana was Chaudhry Devi Lal. Chaudhry Devi Lal, 1987, there is an election now for Vidhan Sabha, the assembly elections now. In 1982, Chaudhry Devi Lal, he was in opposition. In 1982, the election was won by Indian National Congress, that is Congress Party. But in 1987, right now, Chaudhry Devi Lal, he has formed a new, you can say, party, which is called as the movement he started was Nyay Yudh, and the party he made was Lok Dal. So Chaudhry Devi Lal is the head of this party, Lok Dal, and now there is an election, and again Lok Dal along with various other parties, let me write OP, other parties, they fought election, and Indian National Congress also was there, and finally Chaudhry Devi Lal, he won the 1987 election. He won this in 1987 election, the assembly election for the state of Haryana. And now the things which changed is why he came to the power. He said, when my party will win, if my party wins, the first thing I'm going to do is to waive the loan of all the farmers and small business person. He promised that if he and his party and his Vidhayaks are being elected, then the government he will form, the first action of the government will be to waive off the loans for farmers and businessmen, and also the promise he will do when he will come to the government, the first promise he is going to do is waiving off of loan. Now people got happy and they voted for him, and finally Devi Lal won. And if you see that in 1987, Lok Dal and the partners, that is the other parties which he made an alliance with, they won 76 out of 90 assembly seats of Haryana. So Haryana is a state. There are How many seats here? In this case, 90 seats, and 76 seats are being won by Lok Dal and the allied parties. The Indian National Congress, which was in power in 1982, only managed to win 5 seats. You can see that the party which was holding the office or which had the government, that came down only to 5. So this is the beauty of the democracy. Now what happened? The governor, when he saw the majority, he called Chaudhry Devilal, and he was appointed as the new chief minister of the state. And when he came to the power, the first thing he did, as he promised, he waived off the loans for farmers and businessmen. All the outstanding loans were waived off. And he ruled the state for 4 years, that is from 1987 to 1991. And in 1991, the next election was held. If you see, 82 to 87, that is 5 years. So generally, the assembly elections and the general elections, they are held after 5 years. That is the periodic time, after 5 years. But here, it just went for 4 years. And then again, the election was being conducted. And now, in 1991, Chaudhry Devilal and the parties, they lost. And in 1991, again, the Indian National Congress, they came to the power. And now, Indian National Congress, after 1991, from 1991 till 5 years, they made the government. So this is the story that why elections are necessary, why election happens. So why do we need elections? The question comes here is, election takes place or is the mean of electing the representative, and they take place regularly in any democracy. But elections in a non-democratic country also, elections are held. Elections may held. Election may take place. So it is not only the USP or the feature of a democracy that elections are being held in a democracy, but in various non-democratic governments also, in various countries, elections are being held. Why these elections are being held in a democracy? In a democracy, why it is essential to have elections? The reason is, if we take example of India. In India, we have 135 plus crore people. 135 plus. 135 crore and more people. Now, if you see that all of the people, they start sitting together and making decision for everyone, this many number of people will never be able to do it. It is not feasible also. So the best thing is, and moreover, if you are talking about, say, economy, there are some people only who may be knowing the economy, and they may be the best people to make decision over it. They may have the time and knowledge for it. So what is to be done? In this 135 crores, why not to choose or elect the representative? And those representative will form the government or will make the decision for these 135 crore people. That is why this representative choosing is the feature of democracy which is done through elections. But is there a democratic way also of selecting representative without elections? There may be. On the basis of age and experience you can have, on the basis of knowledge you can elect the people. But now in a democracy, generally, the election are being done. There are candidates who, as a umidwar, they come into elections, and people, they vote, they cast their vote, and finally whoever is going to win is their representative. So elections are considered essential in our times for any representative democracy. In an election, the voters makes various choices. So you are a voter, I am a voter, because I give a vote. I cast a vote to a particular person which belongs to a particular party. And it may be possible the person may not belong to any party. He may be called as independent candidate. So how in election voters make many choices? They can choose who will make laws for them. They will choose, or they can choose who will form the government and take major decisions. And also people via election or through election, voters, they can choose the party whose policies or whose politics or whose vichardhara will guide the government and the lawmaking. So what makes an election democratic? First, let me tell you what makes the election democratic. First of all, everyone should have one vote and every vote should have equal value. That is, you and me. Me, you and me. These are the features, these are the minimum conditions for a democratic election. So first is either you or me. Say I am very, very rich, you are very poor, but still our votes count the same. That is, everyone should have one vote. That is, I am going to give you one vote for a person. Say we have to elect among these. I will cast a vote. One vote is counted. You also cast a vote which is counted as one. The second thing is parties and candidates should be free to contest elections and should offer some real choice to the voters. That is, if you and me are there, this person may belong to BJP. This person may belong to, say, Indian National Congress. This person may belong to, say, CPI. So there should be these parties and the candidates should be free to contest election. Anybody can contest the election. And you and me should have a proper and clear choice that I can choose BJP, you can choose CPI. Then the third minimum condition of a democratic election is election must be held regularly after every few years. If you I can just take you back to the example of Haryana, Chaudhry Devi Lal. 1982 election was there, then 1987 it was election. So in 5 years, generally in India, in 5 years, the Vidhan Sabha and Lok Sabha elections are being held. So this has to be periodic, regularly the government should change, or government should be, you can say the government has to appear again for the elections. The candidate preferred by the people should get elected. That is, you and me. I am selecting, say, BJP guy. And you are selecting also BJP. But if you see, CPI member is elected in the result. So this is not a fair way. If you are giving the vote to BJP, only BJP candidate should win, not the CPI. So there should not be any malpractices. Also, election should be conducted in free and fair manner where people can choose as they really wish. Again, the same thing comes here. Whatever I want, if say BJP person comes to us and he says, if you don't give me vote, I will see you. That is, this should not happen. According to my intelligence, according to my choice, I could choose any of the candidate who is there in the election ground. So let me take you to one more question which arises here. Is it good to have a political competition? Now, I just gave you an example that there is a candidate from BJP, say there is a candidate from Congress, there is a candidate from CPI, or there can be a candidate from Samajwadi Party. So all these candidates are there and who are fighting the elections. Only one is going to win. So now when they are fighting or they are competing against each other, is this good to have a political competition? Election is all about political competition, which you see here. The most obvious form of this competition among these political parties is the election. It means competition among these political parties is the obvious form. At the constituency level, it takes form of competition among several candidates. If you see, there are 4 candidates and they are competing in order to get elected. But the question is, again, is it good or bad? What may happen is that the BJP person, he may be rich, he may be powerful. So he may, allegate or, he may, for others, he may create problems. Like he may use some dirty tricks to win elections. He may put pressure on these 3 to win elections, right? And when he is doing that thing, he may have some not fair but unfair chance of winning. So there may be competition here. And this kind of competition is not good. But if they have all fair chances, they are just saying you and me, that this is our vichardhara. BJP is saying that this is our vichardhara. Congress is coming that okay, we believe in secularism. BJP is seeking their vote for the Hindutva, and CPI is saying for the Samajwadi or say communist terms. Samajwadi is saying for Samajwadi terms. So they all are giving us their views, their vichardhara, and you as an intelligent person, you understand, okay, I have to give for Congress, or he understand, or you understand, okay, I have to give for BJP. So this kind of competition is good, but dirty trick competition or allegation competition is not at all good. So this is the thing. Now, regular electoral competition provides incentives to political parties, as you see here, and leaders also. Because now, what will happen? If BJP person does all the dirty things and he gets elected, and now he, as an elected member, doesn't care for you or me. So what will happen? In 5 years, you will not elect this BJP guy again. You will go for, say, Samajwadi person. I may go for a CPI person. So victory is only possible if this guy who you have elected through your vote is able to work for you, or he is working for you, then only he is able to win again. Otherwise, he will lose. This is let me take you an example, a shopkeeper. If there is a shopkeeper, and now you and me, if we go to this shopkeeper is not very kind to us. He is very rude. He is giving us bad stuff. And he is also charging much, for the stuff which you are going to buy. So what you and me are going to do? We'll go for once. But if you have to buy, there is another shopkeeper who is good, who is kind to you, who is giving you good stuff and at a very cheap and reasonable price, then we will go to him. We will not go to this again. So if you are choosing, say, Congress person, he is there for 5 years and he is not doing good for you, you will not elect him, you will go to some other person. So this is the beauty of democracy, that you can choose any person, but if you have chosen any person, if he is not satisfying your needs, like basic shiksha, rozgar, like the education, health, all he is not looking at, you will just not elect him the next time. Next is, what is our system of elections? So how does it happen? How does it work? So let me tell you that India is a country. Now India is a country and we are divided into various union territories and various states. In a state, Election Commission of India, or we can say ECI, it divides a state into different Vidhan Sabha Kshetra, or you can call it as assembly constituencies. These are electoral constituencies or assembly constituency. This is about a state. So these are generally divided with respect to the population. So almost equal population you will find here. Almost equal population. So one person is elected from a Vidhan Sabha Kshetra, that is the assembly constituency, you can say. And this person will be called as the Vidhayak or the MLA, Member of Legislative Assembly. And this Vidhan Sabha or Legislative Assembly, here this person is going to represent all the members or all the people who have voted here or not voted. Every person he is going to represent. Now, when you take example of whole India, then India is divided into various constituencies for the Lok Sabha. So these, if you say this is a state, so you can say this is one assembly constituency, 2, 3. So they may be combined. And one person from here will be elected for the Lok Sabha. And he will be called as the Member of Parliament. So now he will represent these people, or the representation of these all people from various constituencies being combined in the Lok Sabha as a Member of Parliament. Right? So there are certain types of elections. First is called the general election. So elections are held in all constituencies, say at the same time, or at the same day, or within few days. This is called general election. So what happens that, this is a place, these are the different constituencies, and general elections is done, and in all the places, same time or in same day or within few days, the elections are being held and the voting has been done. And sometimes, and all the results are being declared, and people win, and they may go to Vidhan Sabha or Lok Sabha, depending upon what kind of elections are being held. But if some representative say he is a Vidhayak or MLA, now he dies or he give resignation. So now this place or there is no representative. For this, to elect some person from here, the by-elections are being done. So sometimes election is held only for one constituency, as you see here, for this constituency, to fill the vacancy caused by death or resignation of a member. This is called the by-elections. Then we have electoral constituencies. The country is divided into different areas, as I just suggested you, on population for the purpose of election, which are called electoral constituencies. So for the state, this one was one electoral constituency, and you can combine few of them, and you can make for Lok Sabha, this constituency will be bigger. So a country is divided into 543. The number is right now here, but you can check the present number. It may be 544 or 545, but right now we have 543 as per the book. Each state is divided into specific number of assembly constituencies, as I just showed you here. This is first, second, third, and they have almost equal population. So the country is divided into different areas for purposes of elections, and these areas are called electoral constituencies. For Lok Sabha, as I just suggested, there are 543 constituencies as per the book, and one person is selected from a constituency or an area. This is called as Member of Parliament or MP, Member of Parliament for the central, for the Lok Sabha. And each constituency have roughly equal population. That is how it is divided. And then we come to the state. For a state, an assembly constituencies is divided. And here, if you elect a member, he is called the MLA or MLC, Member of Legislative Assembly, MLA. The same principle applies for the Panchayat also and municipal corporation. So if you say this is a state and this has been divided into say 1, 2, 3 assembly constituencies for the MLA. Again, this is divided into different wards, Ward 1, Ward 2, like this, Ward 3, Ward 4. And this ward, here, municipal elections are being done, and you choose or you elect a corporator. And where there is no Nagar Nigam and municipal corporation, if the Panchayat elections are being held. So the same thing are being done. You cast a vote, you elect a person among various other persons. So this seat is called as a seat. So one location or one constituency is sometimes called as a seat. So if you take the example of Haryana, Lok Dal won 60 seats, and Lok Dal and its allies won how many seats? 76 seats. So you can say there are 90 seats in Haryana. If this is Haryana, there will be 90 seats. 90 seats that means 90 MLAs will be elected by the people there. Okay. Let me just show you an example also. This is a Gulbarga Lok Sabha constituency. So this whole is Gulbarga Lok Sabha constituency. And these yellow ones, all under this red, is a Lok Sabha constituency. That is, one member of parliament will be elected from this whole. But inside this, if you see Afzalpur, Gulbarga, it is again divided into different constituencies, and these are assembly constituencies. These are assembly constituencies. So area within district, but outside the Lok Sabha constituencies are these two. So there is a bigger area for the Lok Sabha. There is a smaller area for the Vidhan Sabha, because Vidhan Sabha is for state, Lok Sabha is for the whole country. You may argue that Afzalpur is so big. Why is this Gulbarga so small, or the Sahababad is or you can say Gurmeetkal, this area is less. This is because the population of Afzalpur will be roughly equal to this Gurmeetkal. So this is the Gulbarga area which we are talking about. We'll talk about the reserved constituencies in the next discussion. So till then, thank you so much. Take care of yourself.